So today we're talking about a game powered by AI that honestly maybe shouldn't even exist. It turns out that you can use simple photos into a sniper style game using AI to create an app for you. And what's wild is anyone, including you, could build it. Even crazier, by the end of this episode, we're giving away the exact AI prompt that powers this whole thing. The guy who built it is sitting down with me, my coworker, friend, and unfortunately Mavericks fan, Ben. But before we show you how it works, we need to talk about why he built it in the first place. Welcome everybody to the Hybrid Ministry Show. Well, what's up everyone? Here I am with the world's biggest Mavericks fan.
That's right. You know
Ben
it.
Hurlburt,
Better than your favorite player.
Willing to lose bets no matter how bad they are.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's also true. But me and Ben actually work together at Cross Creek Church, which is great. And I didn't know that Ben was a genius at artificial intelligence. So before we dive into all that, all right, why don't you just tell me where you first started playing, like the original inception of these like sniper games, and how, like, what the rules are and like all that type of stuff, in case someone wants to use or utilize this in their like own ministry context.
Yeah, so I started this. I didn't start this, but I started playing the game of Sniper at Texas A&M when I was in college. And honestly, it wasn't even a game. It was just a bunch of friends in a group chat who thought it was really funny whenever we would see each other in person, not in our normal context. So like we all went to church together, but A&M has a huge campus. So we thought it was really funny whenever we see each other on campus. So we just like take a picture of each other from like really far away and then not say anything like to them in person. We just sent the picture of them and it was kind of like, yo, they were there and where'd they go? And it started off just kind of, like, oh, haha, I saw you in person. And then it got a lot more competitive as it went on. Like people didn't want to be sniped, if you will, that we had certain like buildings where it was like, no, don't snipe me in there. Like I could be doing something with, like, I could be like on something job related. Cause you've got all these job fairs and stuff like that all the time. So like people didn't want to be distracted. So it kind of morphed from this just kind of like funny, like, oh, haha, I saw you in person, to getting really, really competitive. And while it never became like a fully fledged game, the sport management major in me always saw like the untapped potential for like some crazy, stupid like game that people could play on their phones and actually like, you're still kind of behind the screen, but it's all about what's actually happening in front of you. So
yeah. All right. So the basic premise though is you have a group of people, a pool of players, so to speak, and your goal is to capture them via a picture with using your cell phone. Like
right.
Basic, simple, right?
So easy.
So easy. And then like enter fall 2025 where we work. We are, because we're the youth ministry and we're the only fun ones, it's our job to run fantasy football for the whole staff. So we have like, for context, it's not just like a Yahoo league of like 8 people. There's like 30 people in 3 different leagues, and it's like a big thing, which reminds me that I still need to send a recap email about the end of the season. But I've really fallen off here at the end of the year. But we're playing.
Yeah,
what'd you say?
I was saying, it just wasn't close. Like the team just ran away with it.
And we got to figure out, and we tried this year even, right? We threw a wrinkle in it to try to make, because what we're describing is there's 3 different leagues and the leagues compete against each other. And every year one league jumps out into like first place of like the points, and that's it. They stay. Yeah. And we don't know how to like make it closer, make the race like actually interesting, which this sniper game was our attempt to make it interesting. So like essentially we created, what did we call them assassins in the league? Like there were 2 like dormant players in every league they drafted players and then they held them hostage because it's all points based. So it's not like wins and loss based. And so if I drafted someone in Ben's league, for example, that player's points didn't count toward the league total overall. However, we have this big conference that happens in the middle of the fall, like the first week of November. We invite a bunch of other pastors and church planters to our campus, and the entire staff is sort of like pulling it off together. Yeah. And so we were like, what if we created a sniper game to release these held hostage players into the overall player pool? Because, like, for example, and again, the Colts fell off too, just like I fell off in fantasy football. Like, Jonathan Taylor at this point was the MVP of the league.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah, but since then has done nothing, just like the actual team. And so anyway, we're like, well, what if we give Jonathan Taylor's points, Saquon Barkley's points, whoever was on these hostage, players back into the pool, and the way that you release them is by playing this sniper game. And we were like talking it out, right? And I was like, it'd be really cool if I didn't have to like manually score this, because I have to manually score the fantasy football league. I have to go in, I have to write everyone's score into a spreadsheet and let Excel do its thing. And you were like, what if we built our own custom app using AI? And I like laughed at you. I was like, we're not going to be able to do that. Like, what do you think this is? Like, the year 3000? Like, no. And I think one night, imagine it's 6 minutes per week, have your entire social media strategy done for you. I mean, think about it. Like 3 months of youth ministry content for just 23 cents a minute. Some weeks it takes me 7, other weeks it takes me 5. But the point is, and especially at the end of this, as I was sitting in my youth ministry leader cohort, everyone said time management and scheduling was the issue with staying consistent on social. So my recommendation would be, take my pack, let it be the basics of what you do. And if you do get busy, if something else comes up, you have something to fall back on. And then when you do have the creative energy to create something more custom and more elaborate, scrap one of mine and put one of your own in there, but mine will at least keep you moving in the right direction. You abandoned all of your husband duties and you just went, you're like, I'm going to prove that this can happen. So tell us that story.
So I think we were just sitting there watching, my wife, Michaela, and I were sitting there watching some movie, and the entire day I was sitting there thinking, like, I swear I can pull this off. Like, this isn't going to be that hard. And
there's got to be a way. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And the movie didn't really have me locked in. So I was like, yo, you cool if I just like look at this for like 5 minutes or something, Michaela? She was like, yeah, as long as it's only 5 minutes.
And 5 minutes turned into what?
5 hours. So yeah. So I just basically started doing some research online, trying to like find a way, because I'll be so honest, like I can't like generate code. Like I wouldn't know the first thing about any of that. Like I'm a sport management major, for God's sakes. And
a worship leader and a youth pastor. Like we don't know what we're doing. Yeah.
My expertise is not in that field, but so I was like, I know what I need though. Like I can see the app in my head, like digital native. Like I know what this thing needs. So I was like, let's just see if one of these like AI app like things work. AI app generator things works. And it did. Base 44, dude, it was insane. I just started cooking, create like 4 different tabs, like make sure that like each one has this specific function. You even get to like color design, and I was like, yo, this is great for the graphic design part of my brain. I scratched that itch. So yeah. Now
base 44, is it free, or is there a free version of it, or how? Like, so talk about that a little bit.
I think there is a free version of it. The only problem is, and there were a couple of important things, is once you create the app, it's not like something you can download on the App Store.
Right.
It's weird what the definition of app is, at least in my head, considering I'm thinking of the App Store. But everything is like, it's more so of a website than it is actually like an app we would think it. So part of the reason that like I felt the need that to have to pay for it is that the URL might not remain like in your possession, and it could be in the middle of the game, right? Like somebody else that is on base 44 with the subscription could, come up with the URL, or just anybody who creates a URL in general. It could be taken. So I was like, nah, if we have to pay for that. That alone is worth it. And the other one is, more. You could give it more prompts. It opens like to more statistics things, like being able to analyze like actually how the app is performing, as opposed to just like typing in what I would like for it to do. So
yeah, and I think too, like if I remember right, you were able to build it and you were able to see it, but then in order to allow others in it or something like that, like we needed to unlock it behind some sort of paywall, which I think, I mean, like for example, I think the cost was in the realm of like $20-something.
I think it was right at 20. Yeah.
So and we use this for 3 days, like the same length of like a winter retreat or like a D-Now or like a summer camp. So if this was something that you allowed your students to have phones, and most of them did have phones, but then B, you had that same amount of time, like you could unlock it for just a couple of dollars, right? $20 or whatever, and then use Ben's prompt, which I've included link in the description. Go check it out if you want to go grab it, to build something, with your, you tweak it for yourself with your own context and whatever in mind, but like, build something for $20 that's custom, that can be used exclusively by your people. Like Ben said, it wasn't like an app store app, but it was like a web app. Right. And so you just, and you said, and it like, there was it glitched a little, but bro, I mean, people used it. Like some people were absolutely like spamming this game, like the entire conference. Like every time I checked it, there was activity. It was a really fun like way to infuse a little bit of life, right? Because not everyone at the conference used it. I think that's the other thing, was like if you wanted to do something like this, you could maybe like let students sign up for it, and only the ones signed up are playing it, and it just happens in the background. You do the rest of your programming for your D-Now or your winter retreat, and whoever has the phone or whoever is able to, or your student leadership team or your staff, or like there's all kinds of different adaptations, because we had church planters and other pastors, and we didn't invite them or even let them know that it was happening unless they saw us like take our phone out and like sneak behind a wall to try and take a picture. So it's a great way to build camaraderie with a smaller subset of people, if that's something that you want to do. And that's exactly what happened, like in our context.
Yeah, no, it was honestly a lot of fun. I think some of the glitches came from stuff that you could probably take care of like in person, like Nick was talking about. So like one of the worst, probably the worst thing is that I had in my head, I was like, yo, I don't know if somebody like fully gets that participating in this app means that somebody could take a picture of you at any point in time. And I was like, I don't want to get any invasion of privacy. Like that wouldn't be great. So I had this, like, you had to opt in button. And whenever, like, sometimes like it couldn't click. One of our friends, Miranda's phone, like it just wouldn't scroll down to be able to click opt in because of like the version of her iPhone was a little bit older. So like something like that though, that I did on the app could have totally been something that in person, like if your students are playing it, you can just have them like be like, yo, I'm like, by agreeing to play this game, like understand this is going to happen. Another thing too is, and this was probably the best thing about this app, and I know I was thinking of just for adults, but for students could also be a thing. You can program the app to shut down at certain times of day. And I didn't really test it out a lot, but I mean, just given what it was capable of, you might even be able to like geolocate where the app is functioning. At a minimum, you have control over when the app is up, when the app is down. You can just shut it off. You have like just like a kill switch at all points in time, which is like housed through like your base 44 like home site. So like if you don't want your kids playing that once they've left the church, like they won't if you make that call. So yeah.
Yeah, and then just for everyone else's sake, like here's how we put the rules in, right? Like here are the rules that we tried to operate by. So it was a 3-day conference. Ben put like a start and stop time on those 3 days, so that people weren't like getting tagged at home. Which I don't know that anyone in our staff would have done that, but you never know. People get crazy.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
said you were not allowed to play the game during like main sessions or
Yeah.
like breakouts. So like main like content times. And the other thing that was cool was you could report a photo. So like
Okay. I can do that.
if
Yeah.
like I took a picture of you while you're like leading worship, for example, someone can report that and negate the points that it would have given to that team because they were doing it outside of the boundaries. And so that was another thing, was there was like a or not like a self, but like a team regulation, right?
Mhm.
Kind of woven into the app. And again, Ben wrote all that into the code or into the prompt there. And then we also said like bathrooms and offices were off limits. So you had like your safe zone, which remember like our team, like our students team, like all, how many are there? 6 of us. We were all
Yes.
playing and we were all just like holed up in our own offices because we were all killing each other. And so we all just like went to our office to like gain safety. And then like I'd like be walking to the bathroom, like holding my phone like at people so that like they wouldn't like take pictures of me. And like one time I
Yeah.
came out of the bathroom and like our resident and intern, they like used it against me. Like the resident was like, "Hey, can you come here and look at this for a second?" And so like I walked towards him and then the intern was like behind me and like got me taking a picture, or got a picture of me. Like those two turds like totally got
Yeah.
me. And
Yeah.
then I think was the last one was you couldn't be looking at the camera.
Oh, you can't be looking at either the person taking the photo or, I mean,
Yeah.
they're right there together, or the
So you
camera.
can basically have a shield if you look at, if someone's trying to take a picture of you, if you catch them with your eyeballs, like that doesn't count.
Yeah, it wouldn't be any fun if like you and I were just like sitting here like talking and just like
Spamming each other with pictures. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I will say like one thing that like I know that Assassin is like really really popular. One thing I do like about Sniper like opposed to Assassin is that once you're out in Assassin, like unless like someone like brings you back to life or some weird like immunity thing happens, like you're out.
Yeah.
And like I remember playing Assassin in college twice, and one time I made it pretty far, but the first time like I had like a friend that get let into my house like on the first day, and I was just like, well, I was so excited to play this, and now
Yeah.
like I'm dead. Like there's nothing I can do. So like I would say that Sniper gives you the opportunity to, like kids keep playing. Like
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it got competitive at work. Like the younger people on staff were going crazy over this thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was super fun. I agree. Anything else that like you learned that you would maybe like do differently, or any like words of wisdom if anyone were to try to like take your prompt and put in base 44, either on the creating of the app side of things or just like the gameplay side of things that maybe we discovered throughout the game. They're like, we'll make an adjustment on this like next year if we did it or something like that.
well, the first thing is that the prompt that like you're gonna get is like the initial starting prompt. Likely, if you're gonna want to go a certain direction with it, you might need to add some tweaks. I can't remember everything that's in it right now, but like there's a lot that is in it, but you will inevitably need to make some changes, make some tweaks, in order to like get this thing up and running. So in some way, it's definitely like it's yours, like you created it. But one thing I would say is like put yourself in like the best Jesse Eisenberg social network programming mindset that you can for 2 hours, and then just never flip back into it, and whatever you come up with will be a really great game, really great product. So
Yeah. I will say one thing that was helpful for us, I felt like on on all sides, gameplay sides and like administratively, like keeping score, was we forced people to use their actual name as their handle rather than like Dragon Slayer 17. Because if you're Dragon Slayer 17, but I have no clue that that's your name, I can't know to tag you. And so you don't have to do that, but that was something that I required them. I was like, if you don't use your actual name as your handle, I won't give you points because I'm not going to be able to chase down everyone's harebrained screen name that they come up with, from their AOL Instant Messenger days.
Yeah. Oh, I just remember like a whole side of this. Whenever like we had it so that when you took the picture of somebody, you can't just like take a picture and upload it. You have to be able to tag them. Like there's a drop down menu you could type into it and pull up somebody's like account name. But the fun thing to it that I felt like we could have dived into more, and I don't know if other people did, was I had a whole social media function to it. So as opposed to like the picture just going in and just registering as a point, kind of went into this Instagram-esque feed where other people, that was where you could report the post, where we like talked about that. But you could also like comment on them if they were funny. You could like them, react to them. And I thought that was a cool way to like keep people ingrained, especially given how much people are on social media anyway. So
yeah, no doubt. Yeah. And you're right. That's where I'd log in and I'd be like, holy smokes, like Eli and Miranda have been like doing nothing but playing this game. So,
yeah.
But shout out to them. So, yeah. All right. Anything else that we're missing before we cut people loose to go make this game for themselves?
I'm sure there are. If it feels intimidating, like honestly, Base 44, it was so easy. And if it didn't do what I wanted it to do, I'd be like, you didn't do what I wanted you to do. Try it again. And like 95% of the time that fixed the problem. So it was so user friendly. It's Chat GPT, but it makes an app for you. So we're not paid. This isn't sponsored, but I would totally use Base 44 again. It was so simple.
Yeah, and Base 44, if you're listening, sponsor us.
That'd be great.
All right, everyone. Well, until next time, and as always, Ben, thanks for being here. See you guys soon.
Adios.